Yeah.
Supergirl was good. I thought this issue of Doctor Strange continued being very good. Alters, like I said, I enjoyed. It was a good time. It was a welcome reprieve. I needed it.
I feel you. And you needed us.
That's right.
Because it's been a week.
Been a whole week.
And who else is going to tell you about the latest and greatest in comical type books?
And who else is going to do it in a fashion where they run them down till the sun goes down?
That's right. It is the Sundown Rundown.
That's right.
I'm Danny.
I'm Rob.
And we're going to tell you about that thing we just said.
Yeah, all the stuff that came before.
This is sort of a under the radar week. A lot of stuff.
I'm going to gush about some stuff.
No major releases, depending on how you define major, but just lots of solid stuff. Some stuff you may have missed.
I think maybe the biggest, everybody's going to be waiting for this to come out of the week was Walking Dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that came out. And then, probably just below was Batman, because Batman's always a big one. But then, other than that, it's just been kind of titles you should check out, but that people aren't going to be blah, 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 blah. Oh, hey, Paper Girls came out. I forgot Paper Girls came out. Paper Girls is still good.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you that. You should know that.
Speaking of
Get
it,
out of here. Yeah.
It's Kill or Be Killed #2 is out.
Oh my god, I'm so into this series.
It's sort of you come in thinking it's a vigilante comic, just some guy with a gun killing people, and that is what it is. However, there's a bizarre twist.
Yeah.
And that's delightful.
Very unexpected. I guess Brubaker's stuff lately, though, Fatale also has sort of a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recently got through all of Fatale,
Uh-huh.
over the past few weeks, and it was great.
I have to do that.
It's so good. It's very much here's the basic thing. For Fatale, it was femme fatales.
Mm-hmm.
There's a twist on femme fatales, sort of supernatural thing. This is supernatural twist on the maniac with a gun genre. So very cool. There is an essay in the back on Old Boy, which is one of my favorite movies. So
I've still not seen
content.
Old Boy.
It's great.
Steven has seen it and he loves it. I've been meaning to watch it. I read the Wikipedia page about it. For whatever reason, I just I have a hard time bringing myself to finally watch it.
It is worth watching. It is very enjoyable, very stylish, very weird and funny and dark.
Alright, I'm into all that.
Messed up. So my recommendation for this week: go see Old Boy. It's on streaming. You get a DVD.
Boom, video's over. You don't even need this.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. You still
Get
need
comics.
this. Come on. Don't quit comics. Also quit comics. But before you quit comics, a surprise. I'm not going to call it a hit. That's a little extreme. But I got a surprise gem. There are multiple types of gems. Let's see. It's Eclipse. It's a Top Cow segment of Image.
Yep.
Zach Kaplan, Giovanni Timpano.
New #1.
New #1. In the future, the sun is dangerous. It's the basic premise.
Yep. The sun is burning people to death. It's
That's right.
gotten too powerful.
You go outside, you get roasted.
So it's kind of a riff on the classic Twilight Zone episode. If you guys remember it, we were talking about it earlier.
But I really couldn't tell you what exactly makes it such a riveting read, because it has a lot of familiar tropes. The main character is Brian from Taken-esque kind of dude. He's not super talented or whatever, but he's been one of these guys who goes out into the sun the longest, so he's very skilled at that, so they need him for it.
He has a very specific set of skills, one that he's cultivated over several decades.
Which involves specifically surviving in the sun. But it had a good rhythm to it, and I don't know.
It's a solid read.
It's a solid read.
Stuff like that, it's always all in the telling, because you could do any premise to death.
Oh yeah, of course.
But it's all in how it's told and how it's drawn.
Yeah, having a strong voice,
Yeah.
It's an underrated thing.
For example, Godzilla. So many Godzillers.
So many Godzillas.
There's a new movie coming out this year. I'm so stoked.
Is it coming out this year?
Yeah. It's coming out in a few weeks, I think.
Okay.
I'm stoked. Huh. But Godzilla Rage Across Time. New miniseries, I believe. This is that's what it says on the cover. Godzilla
Across Time.
Yep. Godzilla-ing Across Time. This is the sort of feudal Japan era.
So it's not Godzilla time traveling. It's just
I don't know.
Look at portions of Godzilla's life presuming that he's been around.
Yeah,
for a long time.
I think the classic Japanese Godzilla has been around for a really long time. It's
Gotcha.
just that the nuclear testing and the nuclear explosions woke him up.
Okay, gotcha.
That's how Godzilla got woke. But yeah, it's really cool art style. It's sort of in the style of like Japanese paintings and like wood carving type stuff. I think it's a cooler read than you would even expect from a Godzilla comic. So definitely check that out. Neat little book.
Also a neat little book from. Are they still a new up and coming publisher?
Pretty newish.
We got Alters from Aftershock. Aftershock, whose thing is we're only gonna put out the best of the best or some such haughty claim.
Yep.
This one's by Paul Jenkins and Layla Lays. Maybe. And the titular alters are people with superpowers, thinking you're X-Men, thinking you're Inhumans.
Metahumans, mutants, kind of thing.
Right. It's a book about a trans woman.
Yep. It's a trans woman who has like, so it's like secret identities, because she's not out yet, or she's transitioning.
Right, she's transitioning.
So it's sort of secret identities on secret identities.
Which is cool. I like layers.
Yeah.
Shrek likes layers. Onions. And I think, it's the material is handled well, and the world is pretty fully realized within the comic. So,
yeah, by all accounts, people have been saying it's a solid read.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Definitely a solid read. 2 solid reads in a row.
Yeah, it's a kind of an interesting book to come out because the representation is good, but a lot of people are questioning, the creators who are making it.
Right.
So check it out and see for yourself.
I'm a fan of the art, so if you're concerned,
Yeah, the art's nice.
Should I check it out? Blah, blah, blah. Like it's a pretty nice looking book. Like good faces, good emotions.
It's worth checking out.
Yeah, most def.
It's we got a couple oldies from DC too. Kind of flew under the radar in the past weeks, but Cyborg Rebirth #1. This is the Rebirth special, not the official series.
Right.
Which is always confusing, as we've talked about it, but you've read this one. What can you tell me about it?
I did read it. So, with all the Rebirth specials, they're designed for new readers to sort of like get on board with the characters. So, we get a little bit of backstory for Cyborg, how he came about, his his dad's history as like a scientist, stuff like that.
Yep.
But then, I was a little skeptical at first, because I was like, I know Cyborg's history, so this comic isn't necessarily for me. But we get a nice little emotional weight in there, like, I think oftentimes Cyborg's just like, cool dude with lasers, and of course the human versus robot part of it was always important, but it's nice to see that this book addresses it from other perspectives as well. Not just him questioning if he's human, other people who care about him questioning if he's human.
Yeah, because the stuff with his father is become an important thing, at least in the New 52.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's in Justice League #1.
Mm-hmm. So, and the villain they
that'll live on.
introduced looks pretty dope.
Is that the dude at the end, or?
Dude at the end, yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty sweet.
So, you're a cyborg dude, so check it out. If you're not a cyborg dude, become a cyborg dude. Check it out.
Yeah, Cyborg's a cool character.
He is. What are we talking about now? We'll talk about something that's been ongoing for a while.
Yeah.
That I really love. And it does it for me in the most, like, primal, childlike joy kind of way. And that's the Superman series.
Superman kind of flies under the radar despite being the main guy. It's like people kind of take him for granted, so...
Yeah, it's one of those, like, I get so much garbage for being a big Superman guy. Like, I own Superman shirts. I would get the Superman crest and I will get the Superman crest tattooed on my body somewhere. I think Superman is one of those heroes that, like, you could literally do anything with. People are like, he's too fast, he's too strong.
He's boring.
He's boring, yeah. All he can do is punch things. He's got a code of conduct that never lets him do anything exciting. It's like, but that's where you play in with that.
Yeah,
like,
those people have never read Superman comics.
Basically.
They read the ones where Batman beats up Superman and says all that stuff about Superman.
Yeah, there it is. Batman says it.
I'll agree with this fictional character.
But, like, read, like, Superman Red Sun, read All-Star Superman,
Yeah.
read...
Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow.
What is it? Superman for All Seasons or something?
For all seasons, yeah. For the man who has everything, classic.
Right. Superman Birthright, Superman Secret Identity, the one that's got Superman in, like, our universe. There's so much nuance you can do with this. But also, you can just have a fun, like, adventuring story. There was The Adventures of Superman that was going for a while that had a bunch of different writers on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And those were pretty fun. They just got to do, like, little one-shots, like, fun stuff. But they got to embrace the characters, like, weirdness. Such as, and I think this series kind of follows in suit. Like, look at this. Lois Lane is in a bat suit. Like, just because. Like, that's a thing that's happening right now. Superman's fighting the Eradicator. Everybody's favorite dog, Crypto, is in it. Like, it feels like a spiritual successor kind of to the old animated series.
Oh.
In how, like, how just superhero-y it feels. I don't know. Like,
It's classic and sincere.
yeah, sincere. That's a good word. Sincere. Like, it is a Superman book. We know Superman is a good guy, so we don't have to test that too much. Like, we can just...
From what I've read of it, and I've only read like an issue or two, it seems like they just are going out to make a good Superman comic.
Yeah. And, like, it's a good family book, which I think is something that is kind of missing now in comics. Like,
There's
we
no
don't really
Fantastic
have,
Four.
I was going to say, we don't have Fantastic Four anymore. Barry's single. Spider-Man doesn't have Mary Jane anymore. Like, everyone's been like, whatever. But then we get, like, Superman, like, taking care of his son, being a good husband. Like, I don't know. I'm into that stuff. Who knows why? But either way, check it out.
All right, from Superman to the complete opposite, yet still in the same universe. We have a Six-Pack and Dog Welder, Hard Traveling Heroes. This is the sequel to the Section 8 miniseries from last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
This is Garth Ennis and Russ Braun. You may remember these characters from the classic Garth Ennis series Hitman, which was amazing. Six-Pack is a lousy drunk. Dog Welder welds dogs to people.
I just don't, like, for kicks,
Oh, he's like a vigilante.
how does that help you?
I mean, if Punisher shoots people, this guy welds dogs to people. That's it.
That would stop me from doing
So,
crime.
you can bet on this to be hilarious and subversive and weird and disgusting because it's Garth Ennis.
And dog weldery.
Yeah, so don't let it slip by. And it's only a miniseries, 1 of 6, so you should definitely check this out because it seems delightful.
Are they doing miniseries for, like, all the dudes in...
I don't think so. For Section 8?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think it's
Okay.
just like, hey, we want to pay you guys to do more of this for some reason. So let's do it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would like to be paid because people want to pay me
Right.
to do something. That sounds like a sweet gig.
You know who else is a
A
sweet gig?
definitively sweet gig. A
Jason
sweet gig.
Aaron.
Doctor Strange.
It's number 11.
It's number 11, and this series just continues to be so much fun. Like, it, we get some great Kevin Nolan art in the beginning.
I'm so glad Kevin Nolan is just drawing just a series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't have to do that. He
No.
can just do covers for the rest of his life.
He's great, like, but he's doing it because Jason Aaron asked him to, I guess.
This is, I think this might be a good jumping on point because the previous story arc, Last Days of Magic, just concluded.
Right.
With number 10.
And so we already know Magic has been all kerfuzzled, things suck. The Doc has to basically it also had pretty good timing because the movie comes out soonish. Right?
Yeah, in November.
And like the whole sort of arc that's being established is, well, as you can see on the front, he doesn't have any of his tools anymore. He's just, he's basically a guy who's aware of magic and has been beaten up a lot. Also, this issue features my favorite outfit I think I've ever seen Doctor Strange, where on the front here we have him in his, classic album, or classic outfit. But in the actual comic,
Let's have a look.
he wears what is basically like the plain clothes equivalent. He's got a shirt that's got.
Show that off.
I don't know why, but like.
It's like the lazy cosplay version.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to like go to Comic-Con as like hipster Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like when people go to Disney but they can't dress up, so they're like Disney bound or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's what it reminds me of, and I think it's kind of great because it shows off that like he's not as great as he once was. Like he's sort of just the shadow of a version of him. I don't know. It's Jason Aaron. I don't think has done anything wrong by me so far. So
The great thing about this Doctor Strange run is that it's showing that Doctor Strange, for all of his pomp and circumstance, is just a chump.
yeah,
He's just some chump who does not realize how much he sucks.
like
And I think that's great.
he's a lucky chump. And like everyone's like, ah, Doctor Strange is like, but like there's literally like all of these machinations that have been keeping him afloat.
Yep.
It's great. It is honestly excellent.
So good.
And I think we've just got the one.
Oh
left,
yeah,
right?
one left. I didn't realize we didn't talk about it yet.
Oh, sorry, because I wanted to save it because I'm a big Kara fan. We've got this is the number one, right?
Yes,
'Cause
the official number one.
the actual number one.
Supergirl.
Beginning of the series. Supergirl.
If you haven't read the Rebirth special, you don't really need it. It was just sort of an established, like, hey, here's what's going on. It's exactly like the TV show, albeit slightly different, because she's a teenager and not a intern,
An adult.
not a glorified intern.
Yeah, and I actually think because I've had problems with series before trying to fold in the canon TV shows into the comic. I think Green Arrow did it kind of clumsily.
Well, that's because you liked the previous Green Arrow run, so when they changed it to resemble the show, you were like, what? But
Yes.
a good thing about Supergirl is that nobody really cared about the previous run.
Right, exactly. Like, and it had some like moments, but for the most part, that last one was like largely forgettable. Some stuff happens to Kara. She goes off into space for a while, then she stops being in space. Like
You don't have to read any of that.
it's like 30-something issues, and none of it is important.
Yeah, you just jump in on Supergirl number 1, Steve Orlando, Brian Shing.
Yeah, but they make the premise work. Like, characters from the show, Cat Grant shows up, but again, it's in a believable way, so it's not just like, here are elements of the show, shoehorned in, take them. It's like, no. Like, this makes sense. It makes sense for Kara to be with the DEO because she's not
Familiar with Earth at all, like she needs someone to help her out.
And, I don't know, I really like Brian Ching, is it?
Yeah.
I really
Really nice style, kind of sketchy. Like
very
kinda,
kinetic. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, kind of jagged line work. Really, really great. I love that panel. Show that
I
panel.
know, right?
Like the look on Cat Grant's face, the
Is excellent. Like
expression, the pose.
the attitude, yeah.
Really nice.
Wonderful. I'm also a big fan of this new costume. I know it's basically just like classic costume with New 52 boots, but
Yep, just like
the way the cape hangs, I think, especially is what does it for me. Like, I like when super capes have sort of like a life of their own.
Like the Supergirl costume, you never have to mess with. It's always weird when they do.
Yeah.
Like the New 52 one was fine. It was like a little too much stuff.
Yeah, it's like,
It's like it was like back in the day in Wizard magazine. Be like, here's some ideas for redesigns for Superman, and they're always like they just look off. It's like we put elbow pads. Like it's not anything for me.
Yeah,
It's like keep it classic and iconic.
You know, though, brief aside that has absolutely no relevance. And fun fact for the day. Woo! Imagine a little fun fact for the day sign goes by. Like we have one of those.
have you seen any of the other concept designs that were done by, I think, Kenneth Rocafort?
For the new Lobo.
No.
So, or I guess the new Lobo being the New 52 Lobo.
The sexy Lobo.
The big hubbub was that new Lobo, New 52 Lobo, was too sexy. He was too svelte. He was too, like, image sci-fi comics, not, like, it didn't pay enough homage to old Lobo.
People thought it was a little Twilight-ish.
Yeah, he's just too cute. He's too handsome. Lobo's supposed to be a tough guy, smokes a cigar. Well,
Kind of bulky.
there were some other designs that were done by Kenneth Rocafort that were tremendously, in my opinion, better. A lot of them keep Lobo's like size and like facial hair, but like one of them turns into like a part like cyborg, like smoking samurai.
Cool.
Like, they're very, very out there concepts,
But like pretty cool. Like, I think
that for me is the thing, is if you're gonna go for like redesigning a character, like, you don't need to do it with Supergirl, because again, very simple, very easy, like, good.
You could do minor
Like,
changes,
like,
but there's some things that probably shouldn't
change
change.
time.
Yeah.
You know, as she gets older, she wants to advance her costume. I get that. That's great. But like, if you're gonna be a person who commits to doing like a change, like go for something big. You know, absolutely give me a Lobo with robot legs. Like,
Yeah, go wild.
like I'm super into that. I don't know. That's my opinion on costumes. Fun fact of the day.
I'm gonna look those up. That sounds fun.
Yeah, they're really cool. There are a couple of them.
Like I think there's like 3, and then there's the like generic like sci-fi bad boy kind of look. And I'm like, oh. All right. Alright. But yeah.
Good stuff.
Supergirl. Kara Zor-El. Man underrated. Cyborg Superman is a cyborg. Cyborg.
We have a comic
Cyborg?
with Cyborg and a comic with Eradicator. What
yeah.
a time to be alive.
There's robots everywhere. Cyborg Superman. Eradicator's in this one. Cyborg's over there. The last page of Cyborg, or like the second to last page, has all of these robots we just mentioned. I think maybe not the Eradicator, but this is like
penultimate page maybe.
I think it's got.
Oh yeah, all the
it's a
robots.
There's a bunch of robots on it.
Yeah, Metal Man, Red Tornado, Steel, who's not a robot. Ooh, Robot
I know.
Man. Omek.
Okay, why is Steel here? He's definitively not a robot. He's a metal man.
Well, I guess it's sort of man-machine hybrids, and I think Steel fits. Like he's a technological
like
guy.
Machines. I think of like wiring and such. But like his skin just turns to metal, right?
Steel?
Yeah.
No, he's like Iron Man. He's like Iron Man, but he has a hammer.
But I thought in this New 52 universe, like there's at some point he like grabs Lana and like puts a metal like coating on.
Oh,
her.
really? I didn't know that. Interesting.
I gotta look this up.
My Steel knowledge is outdated, even though I love Steel.
I love Steel too. Someone told me once. It was probably someone works here.
Someone racist.
Someone was like, "Oh man, Steel is a useless character," and I was like, "You bite your tongue. He's got a hammer. That's great. He's got a metal suit and a hammer. It's excellent."
Do you remember the Grant Morrison JLA run? I think it's when Prometheus takes over the Watchtower for the second time, and Steel has to like crawl through the vents like Captain Kirk, like completely naked because he can't wear the armor.
So good.
So good. Steel is great.
Steel is great. Superman family stuff is great.
Yeah. I wish they had I wish Action Comics, in lieu of being whatever it is right now, was
like
doing what Detective Comics is
It's
doing.
like here's everyone else.
Yeah, here's a fun soup and family. I mean, I guess the main Superman. And
It's like
Superman
the
family.
Super League.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Well, we gave you a lot of cool things to check out.
A lot of information morsels to chomp on.
If you didn't know about these, you should probably step outside your comfort zone a little bit. Check out some really interesting books.
Yeah, come on, guy, take some chances.
Yeah, take a chance. Do your dance. The Space Jam. Call it Southern California Comics. We'll see you next week.
There's no better ending than that.
Right?
What more can we do?